Welcome to the Chilly City to visit the Bruma Mages Guild for a recommendation. We'll find it right here in this second row of buildings at the north end. They have no specific specialty, but we'll find ourselves using some mysticism. Or sneak, depending on choices.
Everyone's talking about the victory over Mehrunes Dagon.
Wow!
The thought of what might have happened if you and Martin hadn't stopped Dagon's invasion.
Of course. Wow. Man, everyone is so nice here. We'll seek out Jeanne Frasoric, who is often found either in her room upstairs or reading behind the front desk.
Why, hello there.
She's super nice.
If you ever need anything, just let me know.
I like her.
Maybe you could return the favor.
Oh, I need a recommendation.
A recommendation? From me? Well, of course. If you can find Jaskar, I'll write the recommendation immediately. He's disappeared. Volinaro thinks maybe a spell backfired.
Yet another little mess we must clean up, but at least she doesn't look like she wants to encase our soul in stone. We'll ask around in the mage's quarters and find Volinaro, who is equally as complimentary. At least if you've already saved the world.
I am honored to speak to the hero of the Battle of Bruma.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
He has quite a different view of Jeanne, however, and offers to help us, but only if we assist him in a little prank.
She couldn't cast her way out of a paper sack. It's insulting that we're here, working for her. She's managed to butter up the right people, just enough to keep her position.
You see, he feels she's undeserving of her status and authority, and he wants us to swipe her manual of spellcraft, which, he implies, she's quite dependent on, just to let her squirm under the weight of her supposed incompetence. He gives us the spell Minor Latch Crack, which is equivalent to Open Easy Lock, but it uses less magicka. If you don't feel great about pranking her, then there is a way to work around it. But if you do help him, we'll head back up to Jeanne's room to snatch the book from her desk. You can use the spell he gave you or just manually lockpick. I guess it depends on whether you're efficient leveling agility or alteration at the moment. Never mind, let's not worry our little heads over that. Be careful though, she walks in and out of the room, laying down and awaking over and over, and if you get caught stealing, you'll be suspended. We'll go back and give up the manual, but he won't reveal Jaskar until late in the evening, after 10, when a lot of the mages are asleep.
Meet me here in the living quarters, just after 10 p.m. Just watch. You'll see.
He just magically appears before us as Volinaro dispels the chameleon spell he's been casting on him every evening. He just used us to cause more chaos.
You'll have to forgive me. I seem to have misplaced something.
Sure, she won't find out, but if you didn't want to have any part of this, you can actually just find Jaskar yourself if you use the mysticism spell Detect Life, or I guess simply bump into him. He'll either be in his room or wandering around the quarters, sometimes even sleeping in other beds. Like, how has nobody sat on this guy yet? Simply interacting with him isn't enough to consider him found, though.
Go away. You'll ruin everything.
You actually have to use mysticism's Dispel Other to force him to reveal himself and continue the quest. If you don't have it yet, you can actually purchase a journeyman spell from Volinaro himself. He also has a limited time Master Conjuration spell, so if you ever wanted to have a pet Tremora Lord, you better grab that ASAP. You can also go to Leowyn to find an apprentice Dispel Other spell from Alves Uvenom, or a greater spell from Agata, who we'll be meeting later. This way, both pranks are thwarted and we'll receive our ethically earned referral.
We figured it was time to move on to a new prank, so you can tell her you found me.
Of course, this implies that Jeanne never tried these simple spells to find Jaskar herself, but anyway.
Romanus will have my recommendation. And don't you forget about me once you've finished your training.